picking ahead to 2023 a little bit. And look, we should probably throw this up again. And if you got your screen kind of small, you might need to go up full screen because the text is going to be a little bit small because 35 players leaving Florida, Will. That's the list right here. If you're watching the YouTube version, all the players leaving through the transfer portal, going to the NFL draft, or dismissed from the team. But 35 players that were part of this team this year, no longer on this Gators roster. I'll quickly go through all 35 just so you can kind of remember who's no longer a Gator right now. So Trey Dean, Amari Burney, Jordan Pouncey, Ventrell Miller, Josh Braun, Marco Ortiz, Brenton Cox, Kamara Wilcoxon, Naquan Wright, Lorenzo Lingard, Trent Whittemore, Justin Shorter, Osiris Torrance, Nick Elksness, DeJuan Black, Griffin McDowell, Avery Helm, Jalen Kittner, Dejon Reynolds, Donovan McMillan, Corey Collier Jr., David Reese, Chief Borders, Jervon Dexter, Anthony Richardson, Yusef McGarble, Jalen Lee, Lloyd Summerall, Chris Thomas, Richard Garage, Michael Tarquin, Jordan Young, Trevez Johnson, Ethan White, and the latest one being Rashad Torrance. We all know around the holidays there was some of the names there, and Michael Tarquin, Ethan White being the biggest surprises there. Rashad Torrance coming in late, declaring for the NFL draft. I mean, 35 faces that will not be on this Gator roster. And besides, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, besides 10 of them, they're transfers. And, most of them we understood along the way. Most thought some of these names probably would have been transfer candidates. Last year, it took a year for them to actually hit the transfer portal. Maybe one surprise to head to the NFL and Rashad Torrance. Richard Garage may be kind of questionable if he was going to go. Jervon Dexter may be questionable if he was going to go. Of course, Anthony Richardson would follow that storyline. Maybe a bit of a surprise, too, that he would go. But when you take a look at, 25 transfers on the way out, I mean, it's going to raise the question is, how does Florida build a roster to compete in 2023?
Yeah, man. I think the entire offensive line has just been decimated here. I mean, you got White, Tarquin, Garage, and Torrance are starters. Then you've got Braun and Mugarbil, who are backups. And you think about now, obviously, Torrance needed to go. Garage had an opportunity to go to the go pros, but Tarquin's at USC, so another Power 5 program. I don't know where White's going to end up, but White was a big part. He was an all SEC player. And so, I don't know. You played at an all SEC level, and you decide to transfer. That's not a great look for the organization or for the staff. And if I was Anthony Richardson, I'm not sure I would have wanted to stay behind whatever offensive line is going to be left either. To be honest with you, it's going to be rough sledding, especially early on next year. And we're going to talk about the transfers coming in, and obviously Florida has 2 offensive line coaches. They're going to earn it because of this. And look, it's a freshman and sophomore dominated 2023 because there aren't a whole lot of juniors and seniors left. And whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I mean, I think for the record next year, it's probably a bad thing. But, we didn't get a lot of turnover under McElwain. We didn't get a lot of turnover under Mullen early on. Those guys sort of rode their previous administration's players to victories. And then when those guys left, everything sort of fell apart. So, hey, maybe this is the other way around, right? You take your lumps early on, you make sure the young guys get in there and play, and then you build into something better. I'm not sure how confident I am in that, given where they are in the recruiting trail at this point. But that's what they're doing. That is the strategy. The strategy is go young, get those guys experience, and they're going to have to chain together an awful lot of. And they're going to have to get a lot. We talk about development, and people talk about development when it comes to recruiting and those sorts of things. And we're going to have to see a lot of development because you've got Egelkin, you've got Austin Barber, and that's it on the offensive line right now. And you got to fill up 3 spots on the offensive line. That's rough sledding for anybody who's going to be there behind center. Plus, you look at the quarterback position. Now you got Jack Miller, Max Brown, and Graham Mertz in the quarterback room, a real far cry from where we were a couple of years ago, where we had Trask, Emory Jones, and Anthony Richardson. So how things change awfully quickly, sitting there going into that LSU game in 2020 where we thought we were versus where we are now. Things have turned around quite a bit. And, it's definitely a different strategy towards roster building. I can't imagine that this exodus doesn't come without pushes from the administration or from the program in some respects where, look, they want their guys in, and they're, we're going to live and die with the guys they bring in, and we're going to see, right? There's been a lot of people talking about the recruiting and how Napier knows what he's doing and we need to trust him. And hey, we're going to find out real quick.
Want more Gators Breakdown? Join Gators Breakdown Plus. Starting at $3 a month, get access to unique episodes, plus a blog, chat room, giveaways, shout-outs, and more. Gators Breakdown Plus is furthering the interaction with fans and listeners like you. Head to gatorsbreakdown.supportingcast.fm to join Gators Breakdown Plus today.